What's going on, everybody? It's the Creative Fro checking back in for another episode of What I Wish I Knew Wednesday. Today we're going to be going over the steps you need to take to achieve cinematic footage. A reason why I wish I knew about this when I first started out is because I was always on YouTube and searching the web, and I would see these cinematic sequences that looked really nice and they had a cool color to it, and I was like, how do I make my videos look like that? I've broken it down into 5 key tips you should keep in mind when trying to record cinematic footage, and let me run through them right now. But before I do, don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button if you have yet to already, and also turn that notification bell on just for fun. So step number 1 is going to be slow-mo footage. This is going to be achieved by shooting all your footage in 60 frames a second or 120 frames a second. That way you can take it in post and slow it down, and that slow-mo effect is going to make it really dramatic. So say you were to record your slow-mo footage in 24 frames or 23.98, that when you go to slow it down is going to look choppy, and it's not going to be as smooth as if you were to tape it at 60 or 120 frames, because you have a lot more frames to slow down compared to the 24 frames. So keep that in mind, slow-mo footage. Number 2 is you're going to want to have a gimbal or a stabilizer of some sort, of glide cam or anything like that that can make your footage as stable as possible. You never usually see shaky footage in a cinematic sequence unless it's in the car and you're trying to get a handheld feel of the shot, but mostly all those shots are shot in slow motion with a smooth glide cam. Number 3, you want to have a shallow depth of field on a couple of shots. Now, to achieve a shallow depth of field, you're going to want to have a low aperture setting, and that's anywhere from 1.4 to 2.8. Even if your camera only allows you to do 3.5, you could still get some work done with that, but you're going to want to get it as low as possible and kind of highlight certain parts of the scene that will help kind of frame up the story and what's going to be happening in this actual cinematic sequence or in the video later to come. Just to give you a quick example, say you're going to shoot a mechanic working on a car. So to use shallow depth in this cinematic sequence, you could show the wrenches, maybe the auto sign, any kind of objects that are laying around that kind of describes the person's personality. You want to get shots of that and then get into the B-roll of showing the mechanic working on the car and so on and so forth. Number 4, we have the color grade. So now what you want to do with a color grade is you can really set the mood with this too as well. So if you're going for a dark look, you're going to want to add a color lookup table and make it a little bit darker. You can do black and white, or if you're going for a vibrant scene with a lot of colors, you can do that too as well. So if you're going for a dark look, use a darker color, and if you're going for a more upbeat, happy kind of vibe, choose a more bright color that really brings out that emotion. And now the last tip, we have tip number 5. You're going to want to add these black boxes that you see at the top and bottom here. It's called a letterbox, and this is how you typically see movies when you go to the theater or you watch them at home. It really gives the viewer a wider view and almost makes it feel like they're there in the scene. Definitely putting these letterboxes onto your edits will help it give that cinematic look. So now I was thinking it would be a good idea, since I gave everybody these 5 tips here, if you join us back here on the VAV channel for our Sunday Fireside Tech, I'll take you guys through behind the scenes on how to put these steps into action. So we'll go out and actually shoot a cinematic sequence, and I'll put it together with the music, color grade, letterbox and everything, and show you guys how that looks. So that's 5 steps you can use to make your footage look more cinematic. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like the video if you did. Comment down below if there's anything you wish you knew, and share this video if you think it could help somebody. It's the Creative Fro, and I gotta think of a cinematic sequence.